These paper lanterns you can make yourself are so fun, and you can hang them indoors or outside this fall. I put them up in my sunflower field at sunset, and they looked so magical. Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Maker, and it's a beautiful day to show you how to make your own super cute, slightly spooky lanterns. Today, I have 3 fall-friendly hanging lantern designs for you. A wise owl, some spooky ghosts, and a stack of pumpkins. Or if you want to add your own designs to the sides of this lantern, which you totally can do, stay tuned to see how you can learn how to do it. Your cutting machine will do all the hard work here, and you can put it together like a puzzle. All you need is cardstock, vellum, good quality craft glue, and LED fairy lights. And they can be even simpler if you prefer. These are lanterns that you can hang, so the cardstock is important. I tested 65, 80, and 100-pound textured cardstock, and most of the colors I tried cut easily. I'll show you my results at the end so you can pick the cardstock that will work best for your project. You may be surprised at what worked and what didn't. Generally speaking, though, as you go up in weight, the lantern will be slightly sturdier, but a little tougher to manipulate in tight sections. For this tutorial, I'll use the 80-pound weight cardstock, which is a good middle ground. You can make this lantern without any glue, especially if you skip the diffusers. But good quality craft glue will make your lantern a little sturdier. I'm using my favorite craft glue because I love the precision tip. It is so helpful for tiny tabs. And of course, we need the lantern pieces. You can cut these designs by hand if you like, but I am using my Cricut cutting machine to get fast, consistent cuts. My machine also adds creases right where I need them to make this 3D shape. The files I'm sharing have versions with dash cut line creases or score line creases, which I'll show you how to make with a scoring stylus. The lanterns will fit on 12 by 12 inch or 8.5 by 11 inch materials, so you can make them on any cutting machine other than the original Joy, as I think the cuts would just get too intricate for that. I'll use a green standard grip machine mat for the cardstock and a blue light grip mat for the vellum. I have my usual paper crafting tools too, like my brayer, my weeding tool, tweezers, and my scraper, plus some clear adhesive Zots for the finishing touch. For a full list of tools and supplies and links on where to get them, check the video description for all the details. So let me show you where to get my free lantern files, and then we'll make some fun paper lanterns together. Step 1. Get my hanging paper lantern designs. First, download my free lantern designs at jennifermaker.com/642. You can either download right from that link by saving the project, or download from my entire free design collection. To find it, look for Libraries in the red bar at the top, and then click either Get a Password if you don't yet have one, or click Enter the library. Search the page for design number 642 and click the link to download the designs. If you're not sure how to do things like downloading, visit jennifermaker.com/svgs to learn how to download and unzip files. In the SVG folder, you'll find score and no score versions of my ghost, owl, and pumpkin lanterns. There's also a DXF folder for those of you who need it, and a PDF folder with versions to cut by hand. Step 2. Prepare your hanging paper lantern design. In Cricut Design Space, add the file you want to your canvas. I'll use the owl with score creases. Now click the minus icon to zoom out and see everything. Click Save and give your project a name. Click the ungroup icon to separate the layers. I recommend ungrouping files because they're often grouped by default. The lantern has yellow pieces for 6 top side panels, the top long piece, 6 side panels, the hanging loop, top base A, top base B, which is more solid, the middle base, and the mostly solid bottom base, and optional orange diffuser panels. If you don't want to make diffusers, just delete those layers, but I'm going to keep them so I can show you how they work. If you're using the score version like I am here, you'll see small arrows in the layers panel, which means those have groups under them. Click the top arrow to expand one set. The top layer has lines and a second has yellow shapes. Select just the top layer with lines. The color box next to Operation is red, which is how I make my intended score layers easier to identify. Click the Operation menu and select Score. On the canvas, the lines will turn from solid to dashed, just like this. If you want to change the lantern's color, select the solid shape. Then click the color box to pick a different color in the menu. I'll keep mine yellow though. Click the arrow layer again to select both the score and cut layers. Then click the Attach icon below the Layers panel so your machine will score and cut these together. This is very important, don't skip this step. Adjust and attach the remaining 12 grouped lantern layers the same way. And now your lantern is ready to cut. If you don't want to do all of this scoring and attaching, use the no score version and you don't have to worry about any of this. Make sure the correct machine is selected in the top right and then click on Make. On the Prepare screen, make sure the material size matches your materials. I'm using 8.5 by 11-inch vellum, so I'll change the material size for the orange, which changes both mats. I'm using 12 by 12-inch cardstock here, so the other mats are ready to go. Then select the first mat again and click Continue so it will load first. On the Make screen, set the base material for your first mat. Mine has the vellum diffusers. So I'll search for and select the vellum material setting, and I'll keep the pressure at default since it's a delicate material. I'll use a blue light grip machine mat since I don't want to risk tearing the vellum later. My vellum is the same on both sides, but put it face up if yours has different surfaces. And use a brayer to make sure it's adhered really well. Then press the flashing load button to load the prepared mat into your Cricut. And press the flashing button to start cutting. When it's done, don't unload your mat right away. Instead, gently lift a corner of the vellum to make sure the cuts went all the way through. If they didn't, press that middle button again to make a second pass of cuts in the exact same spots. When the cuts are complete, unload your mat, flip your mat over onto your work surface, and roll the mat back to release the vellum. Set your pieces aside oriented correctly. If you have any issues with your cuts, visit jennifermaker.com/cleanercuts for my best tips and tricks. Cut the other mat of vellum diffusers the same way. For the cardstock, I used 80-pound medium cardstock with more pressure. This material cuts well on a green standard grip machine mat. With textured cardstock like mine, you want to place the rougher side face up on the mat. If you're using the score version, follow the screen prompts. Now, I prefer the scoring stylus, so I don't have to switch tools when it's time to cut. So I'll click Edit Tools to open the Tools Options menu, and then I'll click Scoring Stylus and Apply. You only need to do this if you're using a Cricut Maker. If you're using the Cricut Explorer, your only option is the stylus. If you're using the no score version, you won't even see the scoring tool prompts since all the lines are cuts. Then load your scoring tool if necessary, and use the same steps to cut the mat. When the cuts are complete and you've unloaded the mat, use a spatula to lift delicate parts to avoid ripping them. And if any cutouts stick to the design pieces, use your weeding tool to gently poke them out. Set the pieces down face up so you know everything matches your screen. And use a scraper tool to remove the cutouts left on your mat after you remove the designs. They can make the blade jump if you cut cardstock on top of them. And then cut the rest of the mats the same way. Here are my cut lantern pieces and diffusers. Step 3. Assemble your hanging paper lantern. To start your lantern, gently curl the hanging loop around your fingers in a U shape like this. Slip one hanger end through each of the middle slits in the top base A from the top. Flip them over and interlock the hanger slits to create a loop, then pinch the tabs to flatten it. Gently pull the loop from the top so the joint is close to the base. Flip your remaining cardstock lantern pieces face down, using your Cricut Design Space canvas as a reference. If you're using the same cardstock as I am, the more textured side is the front. On the top piece, fold up along the crease lines, starting with the long ones, which your scraper can help keep straight. Then fold the smaller sections with your fingers. The top and bottom creases make tabs, and the tiny ones make even smaller tabs, which we'll call wings. Hold the top face up by an end panel. Fold the pointed tabs wings to the back and hold them in place so the folded section is the same width as the outer slits in the top base A. Gently slot the tab and folded wings up through one of the base's outer slits. Unfold the wings to lock the tab in place. Work around the assembly, attaching all 6 top tabs to the top base A. If you want to hide the pointed tabs, gently fold them down and slide the top into the nearby slit in top base A. Pressing the base up in the middle opens the slits, so this is easier. Once the tabs are secure, fold the wings on the top's bottom tabs to the back. Starting at one of the end panels, slot the top's bottom tab into an outer slit on the front of top base B. Unfold the wings to lock the first panel in place. Work around the pieces, attaching all 6 top tabs to top base B. Now it will get more difficult to slip the tabs through as you go, but you can gently reach through the windows to move the tabs and wings as needed. Then hold a top side panel face down and fold up along the creases. If you're using the diffusers, place a matching one on the top side panel. If you don't want to use any glue, fold the wings down to keep the material in place. I don't want the vellum to move, so I'll add thin lines of craft glue to the cardstock border. Then press it down. Prepare the other 5 top side panels the same way. With the top wings folded back and facing in, slot a top side panel into one of the inner slits on the bottom of top base B. Carefully reach in through the top's windows and flatten the wings and tab layers to hold the top side panel in place. Tweezers can help you manipulate the small pieces. Hold the top side panel's bottom wings folded to the inside and slot the tab through a slit in the face-up middle base. Then unfold the wings to keep the panel in place. Secure the other 5 top side panels to top base B and the middle base. Once the top side panels are all secure, adjust them to smooth any gaps. Place a side panel face down and fold up along the crease lines. Add the optional diffuser sheet, holding it down with the tab's wings or thin lines of craft glue. Prepare the other side panels the same way. Gently turn the lantern to see its underside. Hold the top wings of a face-up side panel down. One wing end at a time, slot the tab into a middle base slit behind the top side panel tab already in place. Unfold the wings and crease the tab down to keep the panel in place. As you add the rest of the side panels to the middle base, the panels might get in your way. I let them stay out to the sides to reach the next sections. Just don't lose the diffusers if you didn't glue them. Now hold the bottom base face down and note the slit with a small hole at one end, which we'll use to add the lights later. With the side panel's bottom wings folded to the back, slot the tab into the bottom base slit next to the one with a circle. Unfold the wings and crease the tab under the bottom base to lock the pieces together. Secure the next 4 side panels to the bottom base, leaving the last one unattached to add lights. Now let me show you how to hide the tabs with glue. To hide the tabs on the bases, add a bit of craft glue to one's top. Then press the tab up and hold it to set. You can do the same with the diffuser tabs. This takes a while, but I like the finished look. Step 4. Add lights to your fall lantern. Unroll the LED fairy lights, then remove the battery protector if there is one, and make sure they work before you put them in. Wrap the strand around your hand in a loop, then lightly pull the ends to make a tube. Feed the loose end up through the circle in the final base slit. Pull some plain wire through too. Use a few clear zots to stick the battery pack's smooth side to the lantern's bottom so you can reach the switch and battery door. Feed any loose wire through the base and spread the lights out inside. Secure the final panel's bottom tab and you are done. Step 5. Show it off. Here is my finished hanging fall paper lantern. You can hang it from a hook like I did in my sunflower field or display it on a flat surface. Step 6. Customize it. If you love this lantern but want to make a different panel design, I can show you how. You can get my special hanging lantern toolkit and learn how to customize your own side panels through a special program called Advance with Jennifer Maker at jennifermaker.com/advance. The Advance program helps to advance your crafting skills by teaching you how to make these popular designs unique and special through tutorials and templates. Plus, members get advanced access to my vast library of designs, projects, and resources. And we have fun member challenges, and there's just really so much good stuff going on. It is a great program. Now, I may or may not be accepting new members into the advanced program when you see this, but you can learn more at jennifermaker.com/advance and see how it all works. And now you can create a fall lantern that is sturdy enough to hang from its loop. They can even go outdoors on a dry night. I don't recommend them on humid nights, though. It also looks great sitting on a shelf or table. I love these for fall, especially around Halloween. Now, I promised I'd share the results of my cardstock cut test. What I found is that I just didn't get the smoothest cuts with the 100-pound white cardstock, so I'd avoid using that for these intricate cuts. You might be tempted to use it thinking the 100-pound is sturdier, and it is, but the cutting is really challenging. Of course, you're welcome to try, but I got the best results from 80-pound cardstock. And remember, if you're interested in creating new panel designs, don't forget to check out the advanced program. I have lots of other lantern design tutorials in there too. And if you want to join me in making all these fun cutting projects, but you don't have a cutting machine, I can help. I do a regular Cricut giveaway over on my blog at jennifermaker.com/Cricut giveaway. Get all the details and enter for your chance to win. It could be your lucky day. Or if you have any Cricut or craft-related questions that you think I can answer, just let me know. Leave your question below this video or ask over in our awesome Cricut Crafters group at jennifermaker.com/Cricut Crafters. And remember, I love to see your projects. Please share a photo of your finished lantern with us in our group. I can't wait to see what you make. And that's it for today. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.